Now, we are here to talk about your civic duty. As a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you have responsibilities. You have rights. And today, we will all discuss those rights and responsibilities. We don't know if we'll be able to touch on all of them. It depends on the discussion we all have together. I don't want you to stay silent. I want you to speak when I ask you to speak. But when I am speaking, then you will remain silent on this as this. And I want to thank you for being focused. Now we have a heading here. Civic education. And we have a theme. Can you read the theme for me, please?
It takes you, me, our
Read louder. Go ahead.
It takes you, me, all of it to sustain our democracy.
It takes you, me, all of we, including the teachers, including your parents, including the government, including the opposition, all of St. Vincent, those at home and abroad. It takes all of us to sustain our democracy. So what does sustain means? What do we mean when we say it takes all of us to sustain our democracy? Upkeep, very good. Any other word? Maintain. Any more? So you're all right. All of us. Each child, each person has a responsibility to uphold, to maintain, to sustain, to keep, ensure that our democracy is there, it is maintained. To be in a democracy, it means that you could vote, you have freedom to do a number of things. However, there are laws that prevent us from doing our own thing. This is how you're in class now, and Miss just come in your school and say you must close your mouth. Because that is a law in your school. Not so. When teacher is speaking, you must not speak. That's a rule at your school. A rule at your school says that you must make sure that your environment is clean. A rule at your school says when you hear the bell, what must happen? Come to your class. What else? It's break. What else?
Lunch.
It's lunch. It's time for home. So you have to understand the bell. You have to know when it is break. You have to know when you change in class. You have to know when you're going home. And you have to obey. So we came up and we recognized that you were on break. And then the bell went. And you saw students start moving. But you see some other stand-up still. Who want to continue to kick their ball. Who want to continue to chatter. To eat. And your teachers are going to wait on you. And when teacher comes to the class, you must stroll in afterwards. When the teacher comes to the class, you're still eating. That's not what the rule says. What did the rule say? It says break is over. So all of that has to do with what we are going to talk about here today. Civic education. Our mission at the Electoral Office is that we are going to provide quality service to the electorate of St. Vincent and the Grenadines while maintaining an up-to-date electors list through a continuous registration, re-registration process, thus ensuring the conduct of free and fair elections. Transparent, free and fair elections. Now let's talk. This, do you think we can maintain that? No. Some people say, Anybody else? Somebody say maybe. Any yes? Yes. So we have no, we have yes, we have maybe. We will discuss why. Why we came up with those answers. But this is our mission. we need to make sure that we register our electorate, register our citizens, and when we register them, we put them on a list that is called the electors list. What other name do you know we call the list? Huh? Who's an elector? An elector is a voter. Somebody who votes. So we could call it the voters list. You ever heard about the voters list? Uh-huh. So what do you hear about the voters list? Anybody? Don't be afraid. People are thief it. People thief it. That's what the young lady said. What else? Nothing else?
Yes, who vote name the on the list.
People who, yes, people who vote, their names are on the list. Okay? Now, let's go to the next one. Now, we also have a vision. And a vision of the electoral office, the vision, what is it we want to make sure we achieve, is to be a model electoral organization among the Commonwealth countries, developing quality service to our stakeholders and the electorate of St. Vincent and Grenadines. We want to be a model organization. Do you think that that is possible?
Maybe.
Maybe again? Anybody else? That's okay?
Yeah.
That's how
Somebody said something.
yes. Do you think that could be a yes? Anybody have a yes for us?
Yes.
Nice. Anybody has a no?
No.
Okay. So we are varying in our opinions, and that is democracy. Just what we are doing here, this is democracy. You have a right to air your opinion. Y'all all say that. Our goal today, why are we here, is to provide you with credible information. You see, you just gave me some information, and some of it that you gave me is not true, it's not credible. And we need to provide you with credible information. So, and then when you discuss, when we have this discussion, you will be able to say, aha, what I'm hearing is really truthful. That's our purpose for giving you the information, because other persons have been speaking on our behalf without our permission. And they have been saying things about us that is not true. So now we are here and we need to tell you as young people, because you too must play a part in sustaining our democracy. The objectives for today. At the end of the presentation, participants will be able to, can somebody read number 1?
List at least 2 rows of the electoral office.
Very good. Next.
List at least 3 responsibilities of citizens.
Yes.
State in their own words why they should participate in the electoral process.
So this is our objective at the end. I'm coming back to ask you. What is civic education? Because I said we are here to provide civic education. We're doing civic education. When I was in primary school, we did civic education, and we used to call it general knowledge too. And so we're doing GK, and we're asking questions. And so when you go ask your parents about GK, can somebody read? We want a boy to read the first one, and a girl will read the second one. These are definitions of civic education. Any volunteers? Go ahead. Let's have a boy to do the first one, and then you will do number 2, as you said. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Civic education, also known as citizenship education, is the study of the rights and responsibilities of citizens and the functioning of government in society.
Beautiful.
It is the deliberate effort and process of educating citizens about their constitutional rights and responsibilities and obligations.
Give no chance. Very good. So, what is civic education? It is also known as citizenship education, and it is the study of the rights and responsibilities of citizens like you. It is a deliberate effort, just as what we are doing here. We are deliberately making an effort to educate our citizens. Now, this is discussion time. We have question 1. Who are you?
Crystal.
Crystal, and who is Crystal?
Intelligent young lady, beautiful.
Give her a clap. She's proud of herself. Crystal is an intelligent lady. Anybody else? You are? Who are you? Me? Yes. No clap. Are you associated in any way to anybody else? Yes. Who are you associated to? The school. Very good. So you are a student. You're associated to your parents, so you're part of a family. You're part of a community. And this wider community called St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you're part of that. So let us look at our various groupings. So let's go. As a person belonging to the family, what are your roles and responsibilities? You just raise your hand. Go ahead. Wash up ways. So you wash up. Oh, you don't wash up? What else?
Clean the house.
Clean the house. Make up your bed. Cook. Very good. So we have some very good chef here.
Yeah.
So we wash up the wares. We cook. We clean up the house. Make up our beds. Eat, yes. Nothing else?
And shop at the home.
Go to the shop and do grocery. Collect money. Pay bills. Babysit. Right. We will talk about the school just now. Anybody here has animals?
Yeah.
Okay. So you must go and look after your animals. Anybody here? You don't have any time for that? Okay. So, you're granny, but you have animals. So, that means that is saying that you share responsibilities in the house. So, as a child of the family, you have your duties to perform. And if you don't do them, what happens? You get cussed. Licks. Come. Chop. Go out the house. No food. Huh? Punishment like what? Take away your phone. Butu. Somebody said butu. Right. So, listen. That is because there is an expectation of you. Your parents made sure that they say, listen to me, you are part of this household and you have a right to participate in the activities of the household. So you must be wanted, you must feel a part of. Don't just wake up in the morning and come to school. But you have a responsibility to do something. Just as this young lady said, her granny will go with the animals because that is granny's role. But she in turn will make sure that she helps in cleaning the house or do whatever chores she's supposed to do. And the young man says, I have to make up my bed because when I get up, I don't have a maid to follow behind me to come and make up my bed. So each of us must do something in the house. And if you don't do it, then there are penalties. And you just name out a number of penalties that you can get. You either get flogged, or you get put out the house, or you get butu, or you get licks, or whatever the situation is. No food, somebody said. So let's look at, and somebody said they get punished, their phones are taken away. So now, let us look at our school. You have a responsibility as a student, not so? So what are your responsibilities? Put your hands up, yes? Take your education how? Seriously. How you taking it seriously? What are the actions? Engaging in school. Activities, right? Okay, hold on. We come into school, somebody talk about education. We come into school to be educated. And if you miss your class by coming late, or by going somewhere else when parents send you to school, you're knocking somewhere else, wrongs and van, started by somebody else's house, and so on, you are missing out. You can't play the cross talk, yeah? You are missing out on your education. Somebody else said, as a part of the school, I must also engage myself in other school activities, like public speaking, and that is very good. Sometimes your teacher asks, you know, there's a public speaking competition coming up, and they want a person who they think can represent the school, and they go around the school and ask somebody want to participate. Nobody wants to participate. Carnival comes up, and people can sing. You have people who can guide you. Say, okay, you could participate in the calypso part. Nobody wants to go. No. School has football competition, and only few boys.
Never.
School has netball, only few girls. Others, but even if you can't play or you didn't make the team, you can do what? Practice. You can go and support your team. You can come out and support them because it is your school and you want to make sure that you make up your school, you support your school. So, as a student, you have a responsibility to your education and to represent your school. Now, when I came in there and I stood up, I noticed a big mark on the school. Somebody went there and marked it with marker. Huh? You could do that at home?
No.
Can you do that at home?
No.
Will you do that at home?
No.
Why?
Because that's home.
Aha, beautiful. Who said that? You are very brave. Because that is home. You want your home to be clean. You want when people come to your home to notice that it is clean, the walls are very clean, your house is clean, so that people would say, ha, the people are nasty. The home well kept. But when you come to school, who's the school? Oh, government. So as it's government school, wait a minute, as it's government school, it is okay for you to mark up the school. Yes. Aha. So another thing, if I leave here and say, show me your bathroom, will I need those marks there?
Yes.
Why? Oh, it's decoration? Wait, you have to put your hand up. Put your hand up and let us get, hello? Let us get the information together. You said, if I go to your bathrooms, it is worse. One lady said, in there are they good. Somebody said it's decoration. But yet, you didn't want to decorate your home. You didn't see that as part of the decoration for your home. Because your home is your home. But the school belongs to government. So you will mark it up because it's government told and what the government is supposed to do. Paint it back. And clean up in there. You understand? You see how unfair we are? You see how we are irresponsible? We need to be a little bit more responsible than this. Somebody just informed me that they met them dead. But I'm certain they have children who are dead. But if you met them there, what did you do to remove them? Nothing. Nothing. The guards didn't say, you know what? Let us take the lead. We are going to make sure that we will tell the teachers, support us. Can we get $1 or 50 cents? Listen, please. Or $2, somebody who can give $5, so that we can put the money together and paint the girls' bathroom? No. But you live here for 8 hours a day. You said in there that they good. Put it good because you are enjoying the services of the bathroom. You don't have, or you don't go in there because you don't like it. Right. And the same thing I am proposing to the boys. It is your civic duty to make sure that you come to school and you keep the school clean. You come to school and you keep it in a way that you will be proud of it. You don't come, somebody just tell me the door can't lock. You don't want to break off the lock. You're not fighting in the bathroom. When you go to the bathroom at home, you're not breaking off the lock. When you go to your bathroom at home, you're sitting on the toilet seat. When you go to the bathroom at home, you make sure that you leave it spotless. You didn't use it and leave it there for somebody else to follow behind you and flush it. And to see, yes, you want to see a reflection. So you see how important it is as citizens and as students of this intermediate and high school to maintain the school because others are going to follow you. You will leave the school, go on to the adults, and you might even die pass on and the intermediate high school is still there. As a student of the school, you are in 4th and 5th from now, the few months you have remaining, or the year you have remaining, make sure you clean it. You follow?
Yes.
Because it is going to follow you until you're dead. There was a student who came to me for a record. And I didn't know the child, but I was the principal of the school. So I had to get the record. The secretary got the record for me. And he brought it and I wrote. Came to the Barry Secondary School between the years X and Y. The full stop. Because it was so bad. The scores were like lotto numbers. And the comments from the teachers were not so nice. Right? We were playing bingo. So, I couldn't put that. But the employer, once they see that, say, hey, how goes you? I am not going to hire you. I had an experience where, and when you go overseas, don't say that you go overseas, you know. This person had applied for a job. And when he applied, they have what is called, it's an organization that they would go to do checks on the persons who applied. So they traced back to this person who went to Barry Secondary School, an American citizen now. And when they checked, he also had formulated somehow a school certificate. They sent me a copy of the certificate and asked me if this person had ever come to the school and what time and so on, and to give a report. So when the secretary checked, first of all the secretary said, Miss, I don't think that boy, I know that boy. I don't think he ever came here, but they will check. He was nowhere there. But you know what? What? The certificate was nothing in comparison to what we did. He made up one. And then we found out he was a bad boy. He was so bad. Secondary school was there for him, he didn't even put a foot. But now he reached and he realized that he's in a different place and he changed his life and so on. He had to show his education to get the job. And he lied. He sent in certificate, well put a name inside there, that he went to Barry Secondary School. And then I just sent back and said he was never a student of this school. Never. You think he got a job? Yeah. No, doesn't make any sense. So some people would go, they want you to lie. Some teachers tell you, not plenty. For you. For you. Yes? Because you come back to go and ask teachers, and because they want you to get a job, they say you are good. You used to be punctual and regular. Those lies we tell. And how you were good. And that was not so. So, have to make sure that as a student of the school, you are a good student. You leave a very good record, because it is going to come back to haunt you. You will need it. Those of you who don't do assignments, those of you who are rude to teachers, those of you who don't come to school when you should come, the record will be there to say how many times you were absent, how many times you were late, and the teachers would make their comments as to their subjects. So let's start to make a little change. As students of the school, we must make sure that intermediate high school stands among the best. Be a model school. You can be a model school, but each child must take their responsibility, and each teacher must do the same thing. So lastly, how can we contribute to the democracy? So I will tie that in with you as a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. As a citizen, what are some of your responsibilities?
Share your opinion.
Share your opinion. Very good. You can speak. Anything else? Or you will get your head busted. So you will keep dumb. You're not a snitch. Okay. What else? You can share your opinion. What else? You don't know what other responsibilities you have as a citizen?
Make a difference.
Make a difference, a change like what? Set an example like
Be
what?
respectful.
Be respectful. Be respectful. If you're going to be respectful to your country, what is it you have to do?
Stand for the national anthem.
Right. Some people don't stand when they go to activities and they hear the national anthem, they're walking all over the place.
Obey the law.
So obey the laws. That is, I was waiting for that to come out. Obey the laws of the country, and we have a little bit that we'll show you just now on the laws. So you must obey the laws of the land. And somebody said you are free to speak, but when you're speaking, you have to make sure that you speak what is correct, what is truthful. And you must also make sure that you do not speak about others that you don't want them to say about you, and you know that is not true. So you have to be fair. You have to be very fair. In addition to that, we like to talk. We like to gossip. And we don't know where we get the information from. We just say somebody say something and you run with it. You run with it. But you have to pay attention to the source of the information. The source of the information is correct. It's important. Tell me where you get your information from. Where you people. People, you get the only people you get information from? Vinci calendar. Yeah. Vinci calendar. Yes, Vinci calendar. Vinci confession, yes? Instagram. Facebook. Somebody said something? TikTok. I hear anybody say the book. Book. You don't get anything from the book? So that means you don't know. No, it's not come as I say now. I ask you where you get your information from. Google. The books. Newspapers. You don't read newspapers. The newspaper you did? They come out every week. Okay. So they put you down. So that means, you see, you're not reading. But you're looking at, when I said where you get the information from, most of you think it's common sense. But information is key. It gives power. But you have to make sure that the source where you get your information is a reliable one. Very good. It is very reliable, and the information is factual. So if you use people, whatever, it doesn't matter who or the position of the person, That person must be a credible source. Twitter, wherever you take any information from, it must be a credible source. Google, you must have a credible source. Don't just go and say, I saw this on TV, I saw this on Google, and it's true. You have to make sure that your information is correct, and that is important. And there sometimes we are very weak on that. We just hear something, and we fly on. Okay? 5 minutes and we start to spread it. A true. So you ask questions so that you will be able to give voice. Okay? Tell me one other way you can contribute to your democracy. Why is the electoral office here?
Information.
What? Yeah, but what do we do at the electoral office?
Help people with ID card.
Help people with ID card so when they get there to vote.
Yeah.
And so we want to tell you that you also can vote when you reach a particular age.
16.
So we move on. We move on. And this is telling us about voting. And this information came from a credible source. It came from the Representation of the People Act. That is the act that governs the electoral office. Let's begin from every person. You see every person on the vote line there?
Yes, please.
Every person who has attained the age of 18 years, so those who said 16, you have to be 18, or upwards, shall be entitled to be registered as a voter in the constituency for the purpose of electing a representative for that constituency. So when you become 18, you must or you can register. And it is important that you register.
East Kingston.
18 too long.
East Kingston.
Now, when you turn 18, you must register. You can register. But what is the purpose of registering? What did they say? To what? Look here. It says you register as a voter in the constituency for the purpose of electing a representative for that constituency. Now you're from different areas. Which constituency you're from? You have to raise your hand.
I'm from East Kingston.
East Kingston. So where you living?
Me? I live Richmond Hill.
Richmond Hill. So you're correct.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Everybody here from East Kingston? Majority. But you have other constituencies you're from. You from where? You from where? Which community you from? And I'll tell you. Huh? South? You're from South Windward. So we have somebody here from South Windward. You? And your constituency is? Central Leeward. Okay? So we have Central Leeward, we have East Kingston, we have South Windward. You're from Georgetown, you can hide Georgetown where you over on Langley Park side. Okay, so you are in North Central Windward. Okay? Which one Park is Mariaport? So you are in South Leeward. And you can also be West Kingston depending on the side you're living.
Central. She lives central.
Okay? Now, we normally have elections to elect a representative. When do we have elections?
Every 5 years.
Every 5 years. How many elections do we have?
1, 3.
1, 3, we have 15. 15 elections. Remember what we just said. So how many constituencies we have? We have 15 constituencies. How many we have? 15. So we have 15 constituencies, and that is why we have to vote. We have to have 15 elections because each constituency has a representative.
Yeah.
We just said that. We register, we vote, so that we can elect a representative for our constituency. So let's look at the other criteria. We must follow. We know that we must be 18. And it says you must be a citizen of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You hold that point, you said you have to be born here. Now, do you know of anybody who votes and they're not part of, they're not Vincentians? Yes. Where they're from? Over Canada. Nigeria. Back where St. Vincent, I kind of want to see. Okay, let's go. Now, let us see if let us see. Do we have anybody here who was not born here? This is not a joke. Let's just find out. Do we have anybody? Listen. Where were you born? New York. So we have the United States here. Anybody else? Do we have anybody else? No. So let's switch. Now there's a second group of people who can also vote. Besides being born in St. Vincent, if you're born in the Commonwealth, any of the Commonwealth countries, and after this you can look up and see which countries are belonging to the Commonwealth. When you are part of the Commonwealth and you come to St. Vincent, says here, and you live in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for not less than 12 months, immediately before you apply for your registration, you can vote. So when you hear people saying, they're not born here and they're voting, they have a right, just find out where they're from. Once they're from a Commonwealth country, they can participate in our elections. And they must live here for 12 months. Now, C says, in either case, whether you're Vincentian or you're Commonwealth citizen, you must live in the constituency for 6 months or more, straight. And then you can register. So let us look at what we must do that makes us eligible. First, you must be 18, a Vincentian or a member of the Commonwealth. You must live in the constituency for 6 months, both groups. And for the Commonwealth citizens, they must be living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for 12 months. Now, the United States is not part of the Commonwealth, but you have Vincentian parents. Who is Vincentian for you? Both of them. Now, because he was born an American, but because he has Vincentian parents, he is a Vincentian. He is a Vincentian by descent. His parents, his descendants are Vincentians, and therefore he can also vote. When he comes to register, he has to bring something extra. When you come to register, you go to your constituency, you take your birth certificate and a photocopy of it. Why you take your birth certificate? For us to clarify if you're 18 and to get your name spelling right. But in this young man's case, he must take that and also a copy of either parents. Most times it's the mother, because the mother's names are always on the birth certificate. That is for us to prove that he is a Vincentian. And once we can prove that, that's okay. We are on the last slide. On the slide before, 2 slides before, we told you that that came from a credible source. Now this is also from a credible source. And this little piece is from the Constitution of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Remember, we just talked about sources of information and said that your source must be credible. And this here tells about our rights as citizens of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now I want you to go and look for this. Chapter 1 in the Constitution, because it speaks to your fundamental rights and freedoms. Every person in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is entitled to having their fundamental rights and freedoms. That is to say, the right, whatever the race, whatever the place of origin, your political opinions, your color, your creed or sex, you have rights. You are free, but not free to just bash him out on anybody. You have to respect your rights and respect the rights of others. You understand? You can't champion the rights of others. So when children come to school with a book bag, they should be able to leave their book bag there and then steal their books or their money. When they come to school, you must not bully them at school and they can't come to school, they're afraid. They have a right to come to school. When they come to school and you behave foolish and do anything that is wrong, and the principal and the teachers are asking, they should be able to get the information freely without being fearful. Because you think that what you did is right, and you have a right to do that, and they don't have any right to speak. And sometimes we notice that that is playing out in our society. Because people just feel that they're bad. They could do this, they could say whatever they feel like, and if anybody talk, then they do what they feel. Okay? Alright, I want to pause here a little bit. I want to pause here because I have about 3 minutes and give you an opportunity to ask any further questions that you have. Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Yes. Listen. It is a form of identification.
Right, so like,
Move ahead.
you get 18 years old, you can't do that.
If what?
Like how you could get 17 years.
You could get it 16, 17, yes. Yes. That is your driver's license. Yes, you used to get it at 16. Whatever. 16? Yes, you used to get your driver's license at 16. You've gone up to 17. You can check it out and say, I'm not sure about the age now, but yes, school children have license, driver's license. So they can finish. Yes, tell me. Okay, so somebody else has a question. Only same question, but you can only get your ID card if after you're 18. Okay? Anything else? Nothing else? So let me ask you, let's go back to the objectives. Tell me some activities of the electoral office. What do we do? Okay, so we register, yes, use the language. Register persons, yes.
Passport.
We study passport?
That immigration.
That's it.
No, that is immigration.
Immigration does passport. We register people, and when we register them, what do they get? ID card. And you can vote. Once you register, your name goes on the voters list. Okay? Your name goes on the voters list. And that is the list, somebody said that up front, that we use to ensure that you are eligible to vote. What else do we do? So we give you, register you, we give you ID card, and we compile the list. Tell me some roles that you have, or some responsibilities that you have as a citizen of St. Vincent. You must obey the laws of the country. You have a right to speak, but you have to ensure that you make sure you have not infringed on the rights of others. You have not trampled the rights of others. Everybody has rights.
You have a right to vote.
You have a right to vote. Choose whoever you want. Okay? It doesn't matter. And normally when we vote, we do it in secret. It's just that we like to show ourselves and say put on colors and we talk and so on. But we're supposed to be doing it in secret. That is our choice. Alright, I want to thank you for being a good group, for hosting us. You did well, and I hope that the information we shared was important to you and you took away something.